Welcome to the Magic of You on 105.9 Seaside FM.
Good morning and welcome to the Magic of You for May 31st. I'm Krista Cook and I'm here with my co-host Holly Poole. Good morning, Holly.
Good morning. What a beautiful day.
What a beautiful day. And it's a very special day. Do we know why it's a special day?
It's our birthday.
Today is our 52nd show and we're very excited. So happy birthday, Magic of You.
To us.
Yay. Wow, what a difference from last year. So we're very excited and we thank you for joining us. Today in our studio, we're going to be talking about a very, very common issue this time of year, dealing with seasonal allergies. In studio is Meryl Cook. Thank you, Meryl, for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thrilled that you could come. It's just perfect timing, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
So where do we begin? I'm sure it's very, very common for people to have allergies. And I just want to let you know, we're going to talk about allergies and then we're going to open the phone lines for the last half so you can specifically ask Meryl any questions about your symptoms. So right now we're going to start with sort of the basics. Okay, allergies. I know most everyone knows, but let's get a definition of what an allergy is.
Well, as a homeopathic doctor, my definition of allergy would be that a person's system is stressed or their basket's too full, and so their body is reacting to common substances, either through displaying respiratory issues like running eyes, running nose, sore throat, fatigue. That's one of the most common seasonal allergy symptoms are something along the respiratory issue line. If other types of allergies can show up in the skin, in eczema, hair, things like that. But mostly seasonal allergies are displayed either through your eyes, your nose, your lungs, just the respiratory system.
Now, of course, pollen. Probably one of the biggest things out there.
Pollen, yes. Now, seasonal allergies vary according to the season. So this time of year, most of the things that are causing the allergies are the trees.
Okay.
So you'll see all the trees are bursting into bloom, and
yes,
there's these beautiful colors of leaves coming out that are just spraying things all over the car, and you can see things on the ground. So at this time of year, it's usually tree pollen. In the summertime, most of the seasonal allergies are due to grasses, so they kind of come a little later. And then after that, in the fall, it's mostly the weeds, like the ragweed and things like that. So, and some people also are sensitive in the spring to the molds that are coming up as the earth warms up. The leaves are giving off mold, the old leaves from last year, and the bark is giving off mold. So
now, what about those dandelions?
I'm not sure that they're a common allergen. I mean, I think
especially when they have all those
when
little
they're all
fuzzy
flying
things
around.
going.
Yeah, but my understanding is most people are sensitive to the trees at this time of year rather than the dandelions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
interesting.
And so our discussion today is about homeopathy as well. Can you give us just a little bit? Because we need to know what homeopathy
I could talk all day about
is.
homeopathy, but I won't. So homeopathy basically is trying to find a remedy that matches your symptoms, because it's based on the principle that like cures like. So for an example, if you cut an onion, you get what kinds of symptoms? You get burning eyes, your nose is running, tears. So there's a remedy made from onion that is called allium cepa. And it would be used when a person has those kinds of symptoms, burning, excoriating, discharge, as if you had inhaled a raw onion as you were cutting it. So that's one of the principles of homeopathy, is like cures like. And the other very important principle is that the remedies are diluted and shaken many, many times that they're very safe. So they're not toxic, because what you do is you take the onion and you would take you would mash it up in I'm showing with my hands and not thinking of in a mortar and pestle, yes. And you would grind it up, and then you would take one part of that onion and put it with 99 parts of milk sugar, and then you would grind it again, and then you would take one part of that mixture and grind it again, up until you've done 4 such grindings. And usually a grinding will take an hour.
Oh, my.
But you don't have to make your own homeopathic remedies. You can actually buy them. But so you do that 4 times, and then they start to take 1 part and dilute with 99 parts of water or alcohol. So usually up to the 4th dilution is done in the mortar and pestle, and then it's done with water or alcohol. And most remedies that people will take at home would be a 30C or above. So 30C is, it's been diluted and shaken 30 times. And beyond the 12th dilution, there's no measurable amount of the original substance in. And our understanding is that it's the energy of the remedy that's left in the medicine.
Really?
Yeah, it's really very cool.
Kind of the
That
essence,
is
I guess.
very
Is it
cool.
the essence?
The essence, or yes, the energy, I think. And so the remedies are very safe to be taken. And the other important difference about homeopathy is you don't take it over and over and over again. So, for instance, if you were taking, say, one of the over-the-counter Sinutabs or whatever, basically you know that for the whole allergy season you're taking them every 4 hours until your particular allergen is out of the system or out of the environment. With a homeopathic remedy, we only repeat a remedy as needed. So we don't keep taking it unless we're having current symptoms. So you might only take during allergy season, if you find the remedy that fits you, you would only take it once or twice a day, and you may not need to take it for very many days before your symptoms subside.
Can we use an example? I always find it just so much easier when I have a tangible example so that, I understand. What do you do with this?
The remedies?
Yes.
Well, first of all, you find a remedy by looking at your particular symptoms. So not everybody who has an allergy to trees would need the same remedy, because everyone has a different set of symptoms that they come with. So the first thing you need to know is what makes you feel better, what makes you feel worse. So, for example, some people's allergies are better being inside, and some people feel better when they're outside with their allergies, and then they don't feel better, they don't feel worse until they come back in the house, for example. Some people feel better at different times of day. Their allergy symptoms may be worse in the evening or in the morning, or, it's quite individual. Some people may experience burning discharge or bland discharge. So you look at all those different characteristics and you find a remedy. And there, on my website, I have an article about seasonal allergies, and it lists some of the common seasonal allergy remedies.
Oh, gosh.
And,
good reference.
Yeah. And so you would select a remedy, and then you would take a dose the doses are actually made from milk sugar.
Okay.
They're little tiny pellets, and you would take a pellet and you would dissolve it under your tongue 5 to 10 minutes away from eating or drinking. So if you buy homeopathic remedies at the health food store or the health section of the grocery store, the bottles will say to take 2 to 5 pellets at a time, but actually you only need 1. And I think they say 2 to 5 so that you can use more.
Oh, of course,
remedy.
and then you need,
and
you'll keep
product.
going by.
Absolutely.
Back. Right.
So the important thing is you only take a dose when you need it, and you don't take a remedy on and on and on with hopes that it will work. So if you select a remedy based on your symptoms and you take up to 6 doses and it's not working, taking 20 isn't going to make it better. Basically, you have to stop, have another look at your symptoms, and find a remedy that fits, and try a different remedy.
I have to explain to folks, and we will take a picture. In front of us, Meryl has brought in 18 remedy mini, what would you call these?
Vials.
Vials of remedies, yes.
And so each of these vials I'm looking at, and we're talking very tiny. I mean, really, they're very small. So
Yes.
I can't imagine under your tongue. I don't even know if you'd feel it. It would just dissolve ever quickly. So each of these are good for different symptoms. Is that it?
This is a basic remedy kit which covers a lot of acute ailments. Not every remedy that you need would be in that kit, but it's a good starter kit. So, for example, I have these kits at my office, and I sell them to families who are wanting to do acute care for their children or for themselves, to do a bit of home treatment.
Isn't that?
Yeah.
Can I ask the price?
I think it's about $75.
That would be magnificent because honestly, you'll see if you check out the picture, it comes with a lovely case, and you've got your book, and you've got all your little vials.
It's a great place
for
to
travel.
start.
Yeah,
that's how I started as a homeopath. I started as a young mom who my children were having ear infections, and I had taken them to a homeopath. Yeah. And then, and she said, you can prescribe if your kids get hurt or, you have bumps and bruises. And so I started out with just some of the basic remedies and prescribing for my kids. And
plus, I see you've brought a book with you. What's the book called?
The book is called The Complete Homeopathy Handbook, and there is a link to it on my website as well under recommended reading. And it's by my homeopathic hero. Her name is Miranda Castro, and she's a homeopath from the UK who lives in Florida. And she also has a wonderful website. But this book is safe and effective ways to treat fevers, coughs, colds, sore throats, childhood ailments, food poisoning, flu, and a wide range of everyday complaints.
Now,
it's a great place to start.
And I think we'll give out that name again a little later.
Yeah.
Sure.
So that if someone wants to grab a pen and paper.
Going back when you first started, did you find it saved a lot of trips to the doctor?
Well, I had one example with one of my sons when he was 3. A neighborhood child threw a big boulder at his head, and it had knocked him down, and he was at that point where he wasn't even crying. It was, and his forehead was a little caved in, and I thought, arnica is for injury, and I was gathering up all the children to take everybody to the hospital, and I thought, well, I'll just give him a dose of arnica, and I had given him a couple of doses, and we were getting ready to go out the door, and I noticed that his forehead wasn't caved in anymore, and it was just a bit red. And then he was starting to complain a little bit, and I thought, well, we'll just wait a few minutes. And within a half an hour, he was back out playing, and by the end of the day, he had almost no mark on his forehead. I mean, that's when I thought, I have to study this.
My.
So one thing I should mention about the homeopathic treatment of allergies is there are 2 approaches. One is to find acute remedies. So acute remedies are remedies that are based just upon your local symptoms, and try and see if you can treat your allergies that way. But if you find that your allergies are coming up over and over again, and that each year you're having allergies, that as a professional homeopath, that tells me that on a constitutional level, your body needs to be back into balance. So at that point, what I would recommend is that you see a professional homeopath, and what we would do is look at all of your symptoms. So not just your allergy symptoms, but everything about you, how you are on an emotional and a physical level, and find a remedy that best matches the whole of you. Generally, for seasonal allergies, you need to start constitutional treatment several months in advance, because obviously it takes time for your whole system to come back into balance. So when I'm starting patients this time of year, I might prescribe a constitutional remedy and also give them an acute remedy to tide them over for this season. And the sign that my constitutional remedy is working would be that next time their seasonal allergies come around, they're either much less or the remedy works much quicker, or that they have fewer seasonal allergies. So that would be a sign for me that my constitutional remedy has worked and they are more in balance.
Can I come back and ask you, what is a constitutional remedy?
Constitutional remedy is one that looks at the whole of you. So it's the same kind of medicine. It's still a single remedy, but we would look at everything about you and how you experience all of your symptoms and try to find a remedy that fits all of them. So it's very different from conventional medicine, where they might give you a remedy for your gout and then another remedy for your heartburn, and we're looking for one remedy that fits all of your symptoms.
Much better for us. We are going to take a break right now, but we'll be back in just a moment, and you'll be able to give us a call at 469-6000 if you would like to ask Meryl a question about your allergy symptoms.
This is the magic of you on 105.9 Seaside FM.
Welcome back to the last half of The Magic of You for May 31st. This is our show 52. It's our happy birthday to us. We have Meryl Cook in studio with us, and we're talking about homeopathy and dealing with seasonal allergies. It is so much more to cover. We are asking if you would like to call in. You can do so, 469-6000, and you'll be able to get the opportunity to ask Meryl a question.
I have a question.
Okay.
So allergies, let's say we don't have allergies up to, let's just pull an age here, 42. Can you develop allergies like when you're older, or does it generally start from young? Can it change on a year-to-year basis?
Absolutely. It changes. You can develop them in your 50s, in your 40s. And really, that's because if you go back to the homeopathic principle, that allergies are a sign that our system is out of balance. So if, for instance, in our 40s we're working too much or we have a lot of stress in our lives, we may find that we start reacting to things in our environment, such as pollen or such as our skin might become allergic to things. So, no, allergies can occur at any time.
Now, not to go off seasonal allergies, but I'm thinking, what if someone has an allergy to cat? Is there something that, again, I suspect you would have something that would help with those symptoms? Because, for example, my daughter, it would be all the ones you've mentioned, her eyes, her nose, starts sneezing, so she could be treated with one of these to help her symptoms.
Generally, my experience with pet allergies is that a person generally needs constitutional treatment.
Okay.
So you could try looking at some of the common allergic remedies and see if her symptoms fit. And if they fit, you can try and see if they improve. But if they don't improve, or if you find that she's having to take the remedy for a very long time, you don't really want to take a remedy over and over and over again, partly because even though homeopathic remedies have no side effects, what we do to test our remedies is we take them over and over again to prove the remedy with a healthy person. So if someone was taking vial after vial of homeopathic remedy, it's not permanent, but they could start to develop symptoms of the remedy.
Oh.
So, you'd have to take them in high potency over a very long time. And that's why I recommend that for home prescribing, people don't use above a 30C potency, because there are risks when you get into the higher potencies when they're taken over long periods of time. So, and I've had experience with patients coming in, say, I bought this at the health food store or the grocery store, and I've taken it for 2 years now, and I'm thinking, oh my God.
2 years, boy, you're being the optimist, aren't they? Thinking,
yeah,
gosh,
and you just don't do that with homeopathic remedies. Right. Yeah.
What about nose sprays?
I'm not really familiar with the nose sprays. There are some homeopathic nose sprays that are on the market that are multiple remedies in one. We call them multiple remedies.
Okay. So. And
I'm really a classical homeopath, and my training is to prescribe one remedy at a time. The multiple remedies, if you're in a pinch, you can try them, but they haven't been proven the way that our single remedies have been proven. So there isn't the research behind them in terms of provings and clinical experience that I rely upon to prescribe my single remedies.
Now, those are just terrible products. I have to say, anyone who's used, a nose spray, not homeopathic, but, your drugstore variety, they can rebound something terrible. People have a tendency to just think it's a quick fix.
Yeah. Well, I think any of the over-the-counter non-homeopathic, the principle is to suppress your symptoms. So they're not getting at what caused the problem in the first place. And so, of course, if you stop using them, then your symptoms would rebound because they've been suppressed for some time.
Of course. So, well, now that makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah. So can we just cover a few remedies there and just look at some of them?
Sure. So we talked about the onion earlier, Allium cepa. So the types of symptoms that you would have if you needed the remedy Allium cepa would be a burning nasal discharge. So it might be a one-sided burning nasal discharge. It'd be very profuse. You know how your nose really runs when you're cutting onions, watery. But the discharge from your eyes would be bland. And when I say bland and excoriating Ciliating is when your nose runs and the skin below your nose gets all bright red. So the eye discharge would be bland if you needed Allium cepa. So there would be no redness around your eyes. And you would feel worse in a stuffy room, worse in the evening, and better for fresh air. So that would be some of the symptoms that might be indicated if you needed the remedy Allium cepa. So another remedy made from arsenicum, actually, arsenicum album. And the reason we can prescribe arsenicum is because, again, the dilutions. The remedies are so dilute that there is no arsenic left in the remedy. So it's similar to Allium cepa, but both the nasal and the eye discharges are burning.
Oh, okay.
So, and you also have frequent sneezing, but it doesn't feel better after you sneeze. There are some remedies that after you sneeze you feel better. Mm-hmm. So you can see that there's lots of little things you need to pay attention to figure out your symptoms. And the arsenicum album person generally will feel worse outdoors and around midnight, and better from warm applications. So if you find that you put a warm cloth over your eyes or your face and it feels such relief, that would be one of the indications for arsenicum. One of the remedies that someone in my family often needs is Sabadilla, and that is repeated bouts of sneezing. So this is a person who would sneeze and sneeze and sneeze and sneeze, and they might also have a sore throat, and it might be on the left side. It hurts to swallow, and they have a profuse watery discharge from their nose and eyes. And also another characteristic indication for Sabadilla is they feel like they have a bit of a lump in their throat, and they keep wanting to swallow.
Yes,
so that's Sabadilla. That's a very common allergen remedy.
Okay.
So
if we could just jump in here and ask,
Sure.
even something I think about, like people who talk about the fact of they have asthma. I wonder sometimes if asthma could actually really be allergies kicking in.
Well, I think people's asthma can certainly be aggravated by allergies, as well as often be aggravated by getting a cold. Mm-hmm. But generally, asthma, as a homeopath, I would treat asthma constitutionally. And I also do a type of body work called Bowen technique, and I do treat asthma with that technique as well.
Where can we find you? I'd love this to be a perfect time to give out all your contact information, and I will also ensure that goes on our website as well.
Thank you. Well, I'm somewhat in transition at the moment because in a few weeks I'm going to actually be moving to my very own office. Right now I'm in a multidisciplinary clinic called Pillars of Health, and I'll be there till the end of June, but I will be moving to my own space in the Queen Square building in Alderney Drive in Dartmouth. So the best way to contact me would be to go onto my website, because it will always have my current information.
Yes.
So my website is www.merylcook.ca. And on there are links to my Facebook page, and also on my website are many articles, such as an article about dealing with seasonal allergies that you can access through the blog.
Now, for those who don't have access to the internet, you can reach Meryl by telephone 902-431-4888.
Now, that will be as of July 1st.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
My current phone number at Pillars is 444-3303.
That's
444-3303.
Okay. Wonderful. Thank you. It is, without question, very interesting topic. And this book,
once again,
we want to make sure that we give the title, and we'll take a picture of this with the homeopathic kit. The Complete Homeopathic Handbook is by Miranda Castro.
Yes.
Castro.
Yes.
And fairly easy to find.
It's available on Amazon.
Oh, okay.
And there's also on my website, there's a link to the Amazon link, and this book is recommended on there's a list of recommended reading on my website, and this is on it.
It looks like a very well-loved book. And I say that not to be, but you can tell. But this is... This
I think it's a fantastic reference. Sure.
It's a really good starter for people who want to do some home prescribing and home treatment, and I use it. And I also recommend it to my patients. So.
Thank you so much, Meryl.
My pleasure. Thank you.
We're just going to update you now on a few things. Now, let me start. Next week, We're going to have a call-in show with Holly and me, and the topic?
Tarot cards, animal medicine cards. I'll be doing readings.
So yes, you'll want to get in queue for that. That will be next week, a half hour, and it's all about you calling in and getting answers to whatever you want. We have just a few days to our wonderful Celebrate the Magic in You event that's taking place at the Armdale Yacht Club this Sunday. That's June the 5th from 2 to 6 p.m. And all net proceeds of this event will be donated to cystic fibrosis. We thank our sponsors. We have 105.9 Seaside FM. We have Body Talk Nova Scotia, Irwin Lake Chalets, and Domus Realty, Brenda McKenzie. This event, $25, will get you chance to meet Karen Forrest, the Angel Lady, Canadian best-selling author, Angels of the Maritimes by your side, and Canadian Angels by your side. You can purchase a book. Karen will sign it for you, and she'll even give you a free angel reading. There will be information sessions on astrology with Holly, numerology with Anne Perry, aromatherapy with Alana Downey, and Body Talk Nova Scotia with Kelly Burry. You'll be able to have a psychic reading with Karen DeVouge or Patty Atkinson or Gloria Burbage. You can have a free aura scan, courtesy of Casa Roma Wellness Center. You will be able to participate in a Jill's Jewelry Workshop if you wish. It will be $20 for supplies, but she's kindly donating that money to CF as well. And Karen DeVouge is going to have a fabulous display of gemstones and crystals that you can purchase and learn about. And there will be door prizes, refreshments, little champagne, and
lots of surprises.
Yeah, surprises that I'm not giving out. We just really hope that you'll come. We have been trying to sell the tickets ahead of time, but I know that that's difficult for people. Currently, you can buy tickets at Moulton's Optical on Cole Harbour Road in Dartmouth. You can get them here at 105.9 Seaside FM, 1540 Shore Road. You can get them at the CF Scotia Chapter Office, 6454 Quinpool Road, Suite 101. And if you give me a call, 449-7886, I'll make sure you get your tickets. Have I forgotten anything, Holly?
Just your quote for the day.
Oh, yes. Well, if you're anywhere in our area, you'll know that today we're having a fabulous sunny day after like a month of rain. So I found the perfect quote. Here we go. Science has never drummed up quite as effective a tranquilizing agent as a sunny spring day, by W. Earl Hall. How perfect is that? Until next week, remember, we all have the magic within us to create the reality we desire. Take care. See you Sunday.
The Magic of You is a production of Voice Waves Atlantic.